Um, okay, so that is our first story of the night. Now let's move on to the US. Okay. All right, I'm going to show you guys a quick picture. Let me see if I can, because I realized for StreamYard, if I remove myself, you're not going to be able to hear me. So let me go here, go to my folders. Okay. So our next story is about a legendary boxing promoter. Who do you guys think I'm talking about when I say legendary boxing promoter? Okay. Tell me in the comments, who am I talking about when I say we are talking about a legendary boxing promoter? And when you hear Rumble in the Jungle, who do you think of? Who do you think of? Okay. Who do you think of? If you don't know who I'm talking about, we are talking about the legendary, yes, thank you, Round Noonish, Don King. Okay. Oh, this is slowing down. Yeah, let me hold on. No, we're not doing that. Okay, so we are talking about the legendary. We might have to do without the visuals tonight because I am out of the country and I don't have the same Wi-Fi that I have at home. Okay, so Don King. Do we have any boxing fans here? If you're a boxing fan, give me some boxing gloves. Okay. Um, so for my boxing enthusiasts, you probably know that Don King, he hosted a legendary boxing fight between um, Muhammad Ali and George Foreman about 50 years ago. It was they held the fight in the country of Zaire. Thank you, Round Noonish, and it was called Rumble in the Jungle. Right now, Don King, while he is, yes, he's a legendary boxing promoter, but he has a very sketchy past. We've heard that he stole all of Mike Tyson's money, and boxing promoters in general do not really have good reputations, right? So here's the thing. Don King right now is 93 years old. How many of y'all have your grandparents are blessed enough to have your grandparents around and they're in their 90s? If you do, give me some type of grandparent emoji, okay? So, about a year ago, someone from a company called BYD Sports and Management, they started talking to Don King. Just, like they were in the same industry and they were like, Don, the anniversary of Rumble in the Jungle. Yeah, they're like club promoters, girl. The anniversary of Rumble in the Jungle is coming up. We got to do something about this. What we going to do? Right. And he's talking to Don and he's like, we're going to plan this, coming up with all of these plans. Right now, the company BYD Sports, they sent a proposal to Don King's media company, the people who handle his productions, in August of 2023. Right now, nobody ever returned the proposal and said, let's do this. It's official. But BYD Sports kept talking to Don King, the guy who was ahead of it. He's on the phone with Don King. He's like, Don, we doing this. Don, we doing that. All of this, right? They were planning a 50th year anniversary of Rumble in the Jungle. It was going to be called Rumble in the Jungle 2. It was going to take place in Nigeria. About 2 months before the fight was scheduled to happen, Don King issued a cease and desist on Facebook and said that he's not promoting this Rumble in the Jungle 2. This has nothing to do with him. What are you talking about? Leave me alone, right? And again, his people, the company, Don King never said he was doing it, and his company that handles his bookings never responded to the proposal. So after Don King comes out and says, I don't know nothing about this, what you talking about? BYD Sports, they have filed a lawsuit against Don King, and they want $3 billion for defamation, fraud, and tortious interference. Now, guys, they also say that they have video proof that, Don King was down with this. It was like an Instagram video of them saying Rumble in the Jungle is happening, and Don King is in the video, but he doesn't say anything. So that is BYD Sports proof that Don King, I guess, was a part of this, right? So you guys tell me, you're very astute, you're very smart. Where did BYD Sports go wrong in trying to plan this with Don King? What was the first mistake? We just talked about it in the Mika Ben case, right? We just talked about it in the Mika Ben case. The brothers saying, I'm entitled to half. What do you need to say that this exists? You need a contract. BYD Sports, at best, sent a proposal over to Don King's business people. We don't even know if Don King saw the paperwork. And BYD Sports continued to try and, put together this Rumble in the Jungle 2, even though they didn't have any official paperwork from Don King and his people saying, hey, we're on board. Yeah, Rumble in the Jungle 2. So now they're trying to go after Don King and get $3 billion out of him. Now, what issues do you see here besides the contract issue? Don King is 93 years old, right? And not to say that being 93 years old means that you, right, thank you, Round Noonish. He may not even be aware of what's going on at 93. Guys, I got to move inside because my battery is draining. Hold on one second. So you're telling me that you're having conversations with a 93-year-old man whose mental capacity we are unsure of, and you want to host a production costing up to $3 billion without a written contract? That's not good business. Hold on, y'all. Huh? No, my battery's draining. Work with me, y'all. We're in foreign territory. I didn't think I was going to do the show here, but when duty calls, right? Wow. Aren't you mature? Okay. So, like Round Noonish said, Don King might not even be aware of what's going on because he's 93 years old. When's the last time we saw Don King out in public? Can anybody tell me? When's the last time we saw him actually promoting anything? Does anybody follow Don King on social media? Let me know, right? Oh, I got to get my notebook. But just, the crux of this lesson is that you need a written contract. Why would you plan an international event that is costing apparently $3 billion and not have a single signed piece of paper ready? Papi, you capable mettre ça un petit bas pour moi, s'il vous plaît? You can mettre bien un petit bas pour moi, s'il vous plaît? Hold on, guys. All right. So what do y'all think? Do you think that Don King holds any responsibility for for this lawsuit? Because he was speaking to this gentleman who wanted to plan the 50th anniversary of Rumble in the Jungle. Does Don King hold any responsibility for what happened? What do you think? Let me know what you think about that, okay?